January 6, 2024 ዛሬ ስኖ እየጀመረ ነው። ረብ እየወደቀ ቡል 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 ይላል። እየጀመረ ነው። ቡል 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 ሲወርዳይ ጃንዋሪ 6 2024 ስኖ ሻወር ስኖ እየጀመረ ነው። ዛሬ ነው የሚጥለው። ብን ብን ትላለህ። ወፎቹን ጠጋጡ። ውረድ እንውረድ፣ ውረድ እንውረድ። ብዙ አይደለም። አይበርዳቸው እነዚህ ወፎቹ ራሱ እየጨመረ ነው። ጠፍ 24 ነው። እሷን በዝጋው መስኮት ስራም የለም። መሳይ እሱ ነው ሻወር እያየን ነው።
some major news breaking this weekend. The U.S. Supreme Court agreeing to decide whether former President Donald Trump should be kicked off the 2024 ballot in Colorado today, of course, marking the 3-year anniversary of the January 6th attack.
January 6th.
To Colorado's Supreme Court to make that controversial move. We will have the story covered from all angles this morning, beginning with NBC's Ali Rafa traveling with President Biden in Wilmington, Delaware. Ali, good morning.
Laura, good morning. The Supreme Court, with a conservative majority after former President Trump's 3 appointments, will hear oral arguments on February 8th, less than a month before Super Tuesday, with Republican primaries in more than a dozen states, including Colorado, which is barring the GOP frontrunner from appearing on its primary ballot because of his actions on January 6th. The High Court's eventual decision on the Colorado case set to apply to all 50 states. Friday's Supreme Court announcement coming just hours after President Biden's first campaign event of the new year, a speech near historic Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, ahead of today's 3-year anniversary of the attack on the Capitol. The president using the somber anniversary to deliver some of his fiercest attacks yet, while issuing a dire warning of the stakes of a possible second Trump presidency. President Biden showing flashes of anger as he called his predecessor sick, an election denier, and a loser, arguing Trump and his movement are an existential threat to democracy.
Trump's not concerned about your future, I promise you. Trump is now promising a full-scale campaign of revenge and retribution, his words, for some years to come. They were his words, not mine. He went on to say he'd be a dictator on day one.
The president's message, while pointed, still leaving some questioning whether it'll be enough to motivate voters in November. Laura?
Ali, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Just 9 days ago now until Iowa's first in the nation caucuses, former President Trump and his Republican rivals there campaigning across the state again today. The former president weighing in Friday on the Supreme Court's decision to take up the Colorado ballot case and again defending his supporters who stormed the Capitol on this day 3 years ago. NBC's Dasha Burns is in Clear Lake, Iowa this morning. Dasha, good morning.
Hey, Peter, good morning to you. Yeah, former President Trump also addressed January 6th during his campaign stop in Iowa, but he didn't spend too much time responding to President Biden's speech. Instead, he continued his false claims that the 2020 election was rigged, and he called his supporters, the folks that attacked the Capitol on January 6th, he called them hostages. He also responded in pretty much real time to the Supreme Court taking up the case in Colorado. He claimed that Republican judges that he himself appointed might try to go out of their way to rule against him, to say that they're fair and unbiased, but saying he picked 3 smart people and hoping that they are fair. Mr. Trump has made his legal troubles central to his political strategy, riling up voters and fundraising off of his court cases. And look, these developments come as he and his opponents are making their closing arguments to Iowa voters. Mr. Trump hoping for a record victory, his rivals hoping for a surprise upset. All of them fanned out across the state today.
Dasha, speaking of rivals, you're in the final days, obviously, there in Iowa. You've sat down with several of the candidates, including Nikki Haley. What's she saying about her chances?
In her interview, former Ambassador Nikki Haley argued that she has a path to victory if she has a strong showing here in Iowa and in New Hampshire, where she hasn't made gains on Mr. Trump. She criticized the chaos that surrounds the former president. But when it comes to his felony charges and his ballot battles, here's what she had to say.
I don't worry about it. Like, for me, I want to beat him fair and square. I'm not looking at a court case. I'm not looking for him to be thrown off a ballot. I want to beat him because I don't think he's the right person to go forward.
She also defended her conservative credentials, as polling has shown that more Iowa voters view her as too moderate compared to her opponents. She especially said he didn't do more, and he did say that he order. Laura?
All right, Dasha Burns, thank you so much. We know you will be busy the next couple of weeks there. Appreciate it. You know, Peter,